Today we're talking about tree health in the summer, and I'm with Logan from Collier Tree Care, Arbor Care. And so Logan, you're out and about with your team, and so what are you seeing? I mean, it's been a hot summer, so what are you seeing out in people's gardens and yards?
It has been a hot summer, so especially in yards that aren't irrigated, we're seeing a lot of drought stress in trees and shrubs. So, most often we'll be seeing them in classically understory trees. For instance, dogwoods aren't well adapted to be out in full sun. So signs of drought stress would be, like wilting and curling leaves, chlorosis in leaves, and in some cases, dieback and twig and branch dieback in trees.
So Logan, when a tree is under stress, what is happening with that tree?
So the first thing that happens, during heat and water stress is that the stomatas close. So it's not actively taking in CO2 or pumping up water to photosynthesize. So the photosynthesis will be curtailed, and it's not actively creating those sugars or carbohydrates, that it needs to survive.
So it's not just seeing that in the leaves. The whole plant is under stress, and that can lead to all kinds of other problems.
Absolutely. So one of the more common things to see, during extreme times of drought is bark beetle attacks. Because as the tree defends itself from bark beetles, it really needs to be a pressurized system to keep the bark beetles out. So that's kind of an interesting way that trees defend themselves.
Oh, it is. And it also lends itself to soil. I mean, that's part of the whole thing with the water issue. So what about types of soil that trees need? Some of the classic examples, are very compacted clay soil where we would see a lot of water runoff, and root growth is going to be very restricted in those soils as well. And then the flip side of it, in a very sandy soil, water is just going to be running straight through it. So it's not going to be holding as much water for the plants, and that's where mulching comes in. I don't think about watering trees in the summer. You think, oh, they're just there, they're going to handle it, but really, how much should they be watered?
Most trees need about an inch of water per week, and in the hottest and driest parts of the summer, that could be more.
And you kind of touched on about right tree, right place. So really selecting the tree for where it's going to be.
Yeah. So you don't want to plant understory trees, in a spot where they're going to get full sun. So like for instance, hostas. Those really need to, have full shade, during the hottest parts of the day.
Right. And trees are the same.
Absolutely. So some of the classic understory trees are like vine maple, redbud. And some of our natives would be, like the Indian plum.
So those really want some shade in the afternoon. And then also, can we be putting mulch down? Would that be helping too?
Absolutely. Mulching your trees is one of the single best things you can do to improve health. It's going to help promote root growth, really slow water loss in the soil. It's going to reduce your watering and fertilization costs as well.
That's good. And then talking about fertilizer, when should we be fertilizing, and what kind?
My favorite times to fertilize are the spring and fall when roots are actively growing. And I really like to base my fertilization recommendations on the soil reports. So we can really give trees what they need, a prescriptive soil treatment.
And really getting professionals out at any time of the year really to come and see the health of our trees. I think that's so important.
Absolutely.
So you would come out and assess them at this time of year, and would you do work now, or would you come back?
Absolutely. We're doing a lot of pruning work right now, and a lot of pest management work as well. So keeping trees' vigors up, from mites and aphids and other boring insects that could be attacking this time of year.
Yeah, so really keeping them healthy so that they don't get problems down the road. Well, if you go to gardentime.tv, we'll click you over to Collier Arbor Care and really give them a call and have them come out and look at your trees and assess the health of them. It's really good tips for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you.